right, welcome back to the 725 podcast. I'm here with Rosemary Dannon, co-chair of the local SCORE chapter 725, hence the name, the 725 podcast. We talk with the movers, the motivators, and the mentors in the Long Beach area. And today, Rosemary, we have, I know, a guest that you and I have been talking about for months since we've been following him on social.
Yeah.
Love the guy.
Oh, I'm so excited because all the things that I love, local media, wit and creativity, and focused on Long Beach. So this is a unique publication. It's been around for a while, and I get to finally meet the mind behind it, John Grossi. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, John.
I can't help but notice that I'm, 183 better than you guys. I'm trying to do 908 minus 725. Just a little bit. Just crushing you a little bit. But the score, scoreboard, I don't know.
No, 908 is unique because...
Because it's every zip code in Long Beach starts with 908, and no zip codes outside of Long Beach start with 908. So...
is that a unique thing for a city?
It's pretty unique. It's definitely one of the only. I don't want to I did the research a long time ago on that, but it is pretty unique that we would just have our own and no one else has it.
Well, Long Beach, I've always felt, was undersold and underappreciated, and maybe now we're sort of finally coming into our own with the upcoming Olympics and things like that. So talk a little bit more about the magazine, what its focus is, and how you got there.
So we're a print magazine,
which is unique in today's world, and I love it.
And was even kind of unique when I started it, but I started it back in 2011 is when LB 908 started, which was based off of a magazine I did. Well, here's the whole story. Okay. This idea came from my dad, really. So my dad was the manager of a gym in Santa Monica, like a workout gym, and his brother owned it. So it was kind of like a family business. My dad was the general manager, and I grew up working in that small business, which, as I'm sure will shine through this interview, is my love for small business. That's kind of where it came from. So I was, exposed to it, folding sweat towels when I was, 9 years old or whatever, and just grew up working the front desk, trying to sell memberships as a high schooler, and working in the small business. And the community magazine idea was always my dad's idea. He thought that would be a good way to advertise his gym. So he had always talked about that. And when I was a senior in high school at Wilson High School, I was in this club, and it was like this club. I don't know if it was kind of to put on people's college resumes or whatever, but there was like 5 or 6 of us, and we were, all pretty involved in school. And they had this idea. I think one of the council people actually gave us this idea of like 12 different things you can do with this club, and one of them was start a magazine or something. And so I grabbed it and said, I'll just do this, because my dad had always wanted to do this. So I just kind of wanted to help my dad do that. Anyway, so I Wilson High School, my second semester of my senior year, I just all of a sudden decided to make a magazine, and the principal let me not take a class so I could do this. It was kind of just this rogue guy in high school doing this thing. And I made an art magazine for the Wilson High School, and it showcased all the artists. That was part of the deal. It was like, we'll give you a $1,000 grant if you promote art at high school or something.
That's pretty cool.
So that was how I learned how to do design and whatever. And we even sold some ads for it, and me and my friends and whoever I could get distributed it all over Long Beach. Oh, wow. And we made a profit on it. I remember it, but it was through the school. So we had to do a order through the activities office and stuff, so we could at least celebrate. I think we made a couple hundred, maybe $500.
Yeah, which is some real dollars.
So me and my 2 friends that helped me out with it, we went out to sushi. And we were seniors in high school, and we
ballers,
probably the second or third time I ever had sushi. And I think we wore suits, and we just felt like we were so cool.
What a great project! What a great mentor you had in that in the school, and the principal.
Yeah.
To show you the way.
He was really, really cool, and he
remember his name?
Mr. Kearns.
All right.
And he
I like doing call out to
Yeah.
Great teachers.
he trusted me and he did that, and I thought a pretty cool opportunity. So then the very next summer, it was kind of like learn that so I could do this thing for my dad's gym. So actually the first iteration of the magazine was in Santa Monica, which is, we're such a Long Beach thing, but
Yeah.
it was more to help my dad's business. It was kind of the start, no, like towards the end of the recession, but it was a tough time. I think we did that in 2010 probably, and it was 2008 the worst of the recession. And we just did this magazine, and then I was ready to ship off to college, and I did, but I loved it. I just loved. I'd always wanted to own a small business because of my dad's, like, the exposure to it, and so then I went to college in Pittsburgh for a year, and I did a second magazine from my dorm room in Pittsburgh about
Oh, wow.
Santa Monica. So like
You're a
the
publishing
roots of
mogul.
the roots of this Long Beach magazine are me and Pitt in a dorm room making a Santa Monica magazine, and then I was like that was what I wanted to drop out of college. I was like, I've always wanted to own my own business. So that was a whole thing, but I ended up moving back to Long Beach after 1 year at Pittsburgh through no fault of Pittsburgh's. And I like Pitt, but I just really wanted to do my own magazine, and try to start my own business. And my parents wouldn't let me drop out of college, so I went
Always a
to.
compromise.
So yeah, it was a good compromise. But I had to go to Long Beach City College to transfer to Long Beach State. So
Not a bad one.
while I was at Long Beach State, I started. The very next year, I started the Long Beach 908
908.
magazine, and kind of same thing. Got a few of my buddies to help me try to go sell ads,
Yeah.
and it was just fun. It was like, for them it was something they could put on the resume. For me too, that was kind of what I was telling my parents. But I really wanted this to be a thing.
Yeah.
And
it is a thing.
it is a thing. So that's
It is a thing,
that was
yes.
the start of it. One of my friends who would help me with it told a funny story at my wedding, and said, like, just kind of about how John started this magazine, but it was really just a few like 20-year-olds going around, and then we'd try to sell some ads and we wouldn't do it, and then we'd go play beer pong at his parents' house. Yeah, that's kind of
After a hard day's work.
hard day's work. So, but I think the hard work was always there, the passion was always there, and then when I got to be going into my senior year of college, the drive to show to my parents that I didn't have to get a real job was there. So that's when I really started to make this thing, make it go.
That's the
really
ultimate
cool.
success when you can look at mom and dad and say,
Yeah.
"See, I did it."
Yeah,
exactly.
So you have a unique love, appreciation, and focus on small businesses.
Yes.
And that's what really captured our eye right away when we started the Score. For those of you who don't know, Score Long Beach has only been around since 2019.
Yeah.
We were a takeout. Once again, Long Beach getting no respect.
Mm-hmm.
Long Beach was basically served by LA and Orange County as a kind of falling between the cracks. And no one was really getting help in the small business community. So that's when ultimately a decision was made. And one of the guys did a pullout from, like I said, the LA chapter, and started a specific Long Beach chapter. So still, finally getting some due and some respect here. We glommed on your magazine first off.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like, oh my God, this is a
Absolutely.
place. And you also capture sort of the essence of Long Beach. And sometimes I try to describe Long Beach to people because we're quirky, we're classy, we're funny, I don't know, there's something in some of your Instagram posts really make me laugh because it's like, yeah, that's Long Beach.
Yeah. So you mentioned the small business first, and I think that's sometimes when people talk to me, that sort of the shock up front is like, yes, I do love Long Beach, but small business is why I started this. I mean, that is why, as you know, you can probably imagine how much work it is.
Yeah.
That is what drives me. And I love Long Beach. I've lived here, pretty much my whole life, other than that 2 semesters in Pittsburgh. But, I don't think if I was born somewhere else, I would necessarily have to leave that place to come to Long Beach. I think, hometown pride is healthy.
Right.
And I think small business is what really drives me. So that's always just been the way I see the world is when you talk about values and freedom to do what you want in this country and equality. I think all the good and righteous things are achieved through people owning their own entities,
Mhm.
whether that be a home or a business. I don't think I think that's the way people achieve equality. So that's what I've always been passionate about.
So I love the passion. I love the philosophy. Let's talk a little bit about the components, product and services that your company offers to small businesses. What are those? Give me an idea of your a day in the life of John at LB 908.
So so our number one service is advertising in our print magazine.
Okay.
We at this point are going to about 40,000 homes in Long Beach for free, and so the day in the life definitely changes. It's more cyclical.
Okay.
We're kind of like a quarterly magazine, so going through coming up with, we always do a theme in our magazine, and we try to do something that people can rally around, which is coming up with content, creating content, but then working with the small business owners, trying to create an ad that works for them, something that will catch people's eye, and just trying to work with small businesses to help them any way that we can. Um, I remember I remember a long time ago when my friends asked me, like, how does it take you so long? Like, deadlines are just so crazy for a magazine. I was like,
Mhm.
it's not that hard to make a magazine if you don't care about making money.
Well
But if you
said.
want to make money, you really have to work with all your clients and make sure everyone's I mean, it's just
Yeah.
a ton of back and forth, and just trying to make uh let's say we have 50 to 60 advertisers plus another 20 to 30 articles. There's about 100 people that have a say in each magazine.
Mm.
And then like, I think it's rare these days because print has kind of diminished so much and online is a little bit different, but every word in our magazine is read and edited, and it has to fit on a page. So if something's two paragraphs over, it's a lot of, tugging at your own brain, figuring out what gets cut and what doesn't get cut.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, but our number one service is advertising. And I've gone through different iterations of the company, to answer your question about services. And actually, this might better answer your question about. Uh, I told you one time we were going in a different direction. I've really recently latched onto just the publishing side. I was offering, I called it marketing services for a long time.
Yeah.
Um, right when social media got big, I got a ton of big accounts, and it was good money, and helping people with their social media. We do still help some people with graphic design and photography. Um, but for me personally, I just have seen, I've been doing it for a while, and I feel that the advertising is what gets the most bang for the buck because
Mhm.
everything else is so costly. I mean, and I know I'm offering it at like the lowest possible price to these businesses,
Mhm.
and it's still so costly for a small business to pay for some of this stuff that I feel most happy when I'm offering a very, we batch these ads together, we create really good content, we create something that people keep in their living room for a while,
Mhm.
and that's what I think. I'm not saying it works better than something else. I'm just saying for the price, I think it
Right.
really does work for small business budget.
I think it's also important for small businesses, and we've had the workshops on this. We've had conversations of the power of publishing anything.
Mhm.
A leave behind, a brochures, a book, what your expertise is. In that tactile sensation of seeing a beautifully designed, publication on a coffee table still has a great appeal. And the advertising, I'm sure, still has impact because they're present, they're there, and they're part of Long Beach.
It's still, I mean, it's kind of in this crazy day of social media, like, still can't really go to just a neighborhood. I mean, everything's so algorithm based, and just because someone's algorithm, is sports, let's say, doesn't mean they don't need a plumber sometimes.
Right.
So like it's just like, how do you and then now with all the Google and Yelp, everything is so skewed with sponsored stuff anyway that it's
Paid
like,
for, yeah,
m-
listings.
people appreciate a sponsored thing that's maybe in their community. So I think
Right.
it's just still a place where you can go and find actual local people when you need it. And like I said, we try to make it where you can keep it on your coffee table or under your coffee table. I'm not
Right.
saying it has to be the main piece in your house, but when I like to say, when you're looking for something local, look in the 908, because that's, you're not always looking for something local, maybe,
Right.
but when you are, that's where you can look.
So how do you get your content? Do you go out and scrub, look at calendar? Do you have? I know you have some people that help, but I mean, the magazine has so much content. I mean, there's articles, there's the advertisers in there, there's restaurant kind of recommendations. I mean, you're right, for a local publication, it's just awesome, right?
Thank you. I try really hard to put a little bit of something for everyone. Like I said, it's the last thing people are getting that isn't based on their algorithm, and
Yeah.
so I kind of like to make sure there is something for everyone, because ultimately, hopefully, it catches their eye for that moment that they do need, to have a small business help them out. Um, as far as the content, I just try to be unique as possible, and I think I don't know originally how I kind of got onto this idea of themes, but themes has been a major part of my business.
Mhm.
Each magazine has a different theme, and we started, um, I think back when I started it, a few of our first really popular themes were, one was we did the longest tenured elementary school teacher at every
Oh, I
elementary
love
school
that.
in Long Beach,
Wow.
and just like people, like these teachers that mean so much to the community. And then also, from my business brain is like, everyone knows these teachers, because not everyone, but like if you've been to elementary school, or your kid has in the last 30 or 40 years, and they've been there, like it's someone you recognize and you keep
Sure.
around.
Mm-hmm.
We did the
Or your
same
kids
thing.
are in that school now, or
Yeah.
something.
right.
So
Exactly.
And we did the same thing with coaches. Long Beach is just like so full of mini coaches that just
Mhm.
dedicate their lives to whatever sport, youth sport. So kind of those different people. Unsung heroes has always been kind of the word in my back of my brain. That's who we want to highlight, is unsung heroes. These
Right.
people that are dedicating their time to the community, making a massive impact, and maybe don't get the recognition or don't get any money out of
Mhm.
it. I think those people are what
what
makes
makes us?
life great in the 908. That's
Yeah.
true. The unsung heroes for me.
I love
But
that.
I've always done these
Yeah.
themes that you can kind of rally around, and I still do that and try to think of everything. I find there's a lot of copycat in life in general, and so I don't look at what anyone else is doing, and it's always like a theme, and like, then let's get the content. Long Beach is going to provide the content because we have everything. It's not like we only have one thing.
Right.
So if I think of any theme, we have that. So then it's just a matter of finding all the people or places that are part of that theme that I think is interesting.
We had a guest on, I think last week or the prior
Mm.
week, and she was saying that she felt like Long Beach was a kind of a collection of neighborhoods,
Mhm.
right? That made up Long Beach. And I love your kind of approach to how you celebrate these unsung heroes in these various neighborhoods, right? And it's pretty cool. I do want to talk a little bit about some of the storytelling, your approach to storytelling, because we find that there's a lot of humor in your
Yeah.
approach. Can you talk to us a little bit about what's in your head, and if you see something, how that works?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just my personality.
Okay.
I say it's humor and joy.
There you go. I
There's a
agree.
lot of joy in his
Yeah.
publication.
Agreed.
That's
Yeah.
what and the Instagram
Agreed.
account too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think like, again, like, we can't take this stuff too seriously, and I was raised for an hour a night by Seinfeld my whole life, so maybe that's part of it. But I just like, it's like you can love something, but like also find the humor and joy in it, and especially I mean, sometimes people are so like, Long Beach, Long Beach, Long Beach is like, it's not like the Garden of Eden.
God knows.
I love Long Beach, but like,
Have you
it's-
seen the water near the
Yeah,
Queen
we
Mary?
have our
Yeah,
issues. Yeah, we have our issues.
and I think also, like, so when I started the publication, this is going to be a long answer to your question, but I really wanted to focus on where I lived in Long Beach. Like you said, it's a collection of neighborhoods, and I live by Cal State Long Beach, just like, suburban neighborhoods. I just always felt that when Long Beach was portrayed, they weren't portraying the Long Beach I grew up in.
Mm.
That was like, it was always, maybe the publications of that time, and just like, Shoreline Village and the Queen Mary, and And I used to say like in the Grand Prix, and I was like, I've lived here my whole life. I've never been to the Queen Mary. I mean, I have now, but like when I started, I was like, this is not what we do. Like like my Long Beach is like playing sports and school and community and these churches and nonprofits and these little community groups you get involved with. It's a normal town like any other, but like these people in this town are what make it great. And I always felt like this like waterfront approach is fine, especially for tourism, whatever. But that's not that's not my Long Beach. I didn't think that was my Long Beach. So I've always kind of just like tried to tell the story of Long Beach from the lens I grew up in. A common question I would get is, why do you distribute your magazine where you do? And we've expanded a lot. But I drew a circle around my parents' house. I was 19. We went in every direction. About 5,000 magazines. I don't know.
That's scientific, man.
That is.
Yeah. Like it wasn't, like, oh man, this because your neighborhood sucks. It was just like, this is what I know. I've lived here. This is what I know. So when you talk about the storytelling and the humor, it's also just like, I didn't grow up being like, don't talk about Long Beach. I'm like, just like, we all make jokes about our hometown and and just kind of also that maybe with the city or whoever's like wants this one image of Long Beach. I always thought, well, I've lived here a long time and that's not my image of Long Beach, and I still love it here, but it's just we have a little bit, that's a little bit different view of it, I guess, when they're trying to make it look like this grand waterfront, and it is. It's beautiful, but it's when you live here, it's just normal life, and you do these things with these people, and our air quality is terrible, and you can't wait to go to the mountains sometime and take a deep breath.
Yeah. And so is parking sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, I was born and raised in Long Beach, moved to LA for 35 years, and parking's fine here. just take it from me.
Yeah.
We don't really have parking issues.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay.
All
Well,
comparison.
I mean, LA is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to get me to talk.
Yeah. That was a great pleasure. I call Long Beach my home, and I came back home. So, no, I think the definition of a fabulous city is one that you can find your place in it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a sense of comfort, security, and intrigue. I mean, a city has to have interesting people, places, and food.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one thing I love about Long Beach. We've got all of that.
It's absolutely great. One of the things that I love about your approach and style and storytelling is the brackets you do.
Oh,
during
yeah.
March Madness, yeah.
Can you tell the audience, the listeners, a little bit about that and how it came to be? Because it looks super fun and tasty.
Yeah. That was just pretty random, but every year we do this March Madness tournament, and I'm just a basketball guy. I grew up playing basketball here in Long Beach. I coached basketball as soon as I graduated high school. I started coaching basketball, and I love March Madness. Some people don't realize it's a basketball tournament.
Yeah.
So I still have to remind everyone. But college basketball, single elimination tournament every year. It's just one of my favorite parts of the year. And it happened in COVID. I mean, I would have never done this, but in February of 2020, we typically don't focus on restaurants too much. There's always some restaurants in there, but we did like this massive restaurant issue, and it was just like one of those stories I'll be telling my whole life. Like, it hit homes the day every restaurant shut down. It's just like, I mean, and and I had a lot of ads in there that didn't pay. I mean, everyone went through that whole thing. But it was just like, wow, here's a list of every restaurant. By the way,
They're all
go
closed
for the next year. So like half of them won't be here by the time this, So it was just kind of like, what the heck? And then, it was early COVID, and then March Madness basketball got canceled, and I was like, I was already down, and I was like, that's like my favorite time of year.
Oh no!
And I was just like, what the heck? But I kind of had all that I had the bracket was the magazine. Like, I just done this content over the last 3 months preparing this restaurant issue. March Madness was down. I was going a little crazy, so I just, we're stuck inside. I think I put on a suit and tie. Might have been in underwear a few times while I was doing it, and started filming myself acting like Jay Billis, one of the Dick Vitale, one of the old college basketball guys, and and I just started. It's basically you just vote on your favorite restaurant, but it's single matchups,
Yeah.
and I am acting like it's basketball kind of the whole time,
Yeah.
and I'm like, whoa, Naples Rib Company just took down Casey Brannigan's, and
I
it's
love
just like,
that.
It was exciting.
Yeah.
It was very
I
exciting.
love that. Yeah.
so we did that for about 3 years, and then it became, after maybe the first year, definitely after the second year, one of those things where like that's what people.
Right.
I figure that's like such a small part of what I do, but that's, people keep coming up to like, oh man, March Madness is my favorite part about what you do. And I like, that was definitely going to be a one-time thing. I was like, this is just COVID,
Yeah.
no March Madness. My restaurant issue is worth nothing.
Yeah,
So maybe
yeah.
we'll just do this. But people just kept asking for it. And then I got a little bummed after 3 years because Long Beach lacked the affinity for upsets that I was hoping for. Like
The
the same,
upset.
yeah, like for me, I was like, okay, like I'm happy George's Greek Cafe won. That was a great choice, our first winner. I was never going to vote for him again because I'm
Yeah.
like, if you get March Madness, it's all about the Cinderella story. But it became like the same 16, like when it was kind of like data. It became data, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is what Long Beach is going to vote for. But then people kept asking for it, so then I've tried to switch it up a little bit. So then we did bars. Bars was different, and then this last year, we did sweets.
Yeah.
So like sweet shops,
Yeah.
donuts, ice cream.
Boy, we have a lot of them too.
Yeah,
We're
and
heavy
that was
dessert.
really cool.
I love the shot where you're outside with an ice cream cone.
Yeah, so then I started using whatever that
Look for a
bakery
mic.
was as the microphone.
Oh, that was so
whether it was an
funny.
ice cream cone or
That
a
was so funny.
twist donut or
Yep,
a spatula or whatever.
It is spatula,
Yeah.
right?
But yeah,
But-
that's such an important thing to acknowledge and celebrate. I mean, I just, thinking about during the Paris Olympics when the JoJo's T-shirt was spotted,
Mhm.
and what a uproar that happened in everybody's view.
Yep.
Whoa, Long Beach, it's
Yeah.
there, and these restaurants and these bars. Like I keep going back to what the mayor said, that then this is how we're going to remember the Olympics experience here for most of the tourism.
Yeah.
Is how they celebrated after the event or during the event. I got to ask you, what are you looking forward to with the Olympics coming here?
So we're definitely going to cover the Olympics. I had a running joke with someone who worked with me, and we used to actually do a podcast too a few years ago. And back when it started, like maybe 8 years ago, we were like counting down to the Long Beach Olympics because we were like, people are going a little bit too nuts. Like, oh my God, it's 10 years away. We got to get ready. It's like, okay, chill, pal. You don't need to get ready. Like, maybe the city does, but not you.
Not you.
But now it is actually getting to that point. And I think it's very exciting. I just think we're gonna cover things leading up to it, and hopefully, for us, I know one main concern of mine is to document what Long Beach was like during that time, mostly for the future, in my opinion, because we've done Olympic issues before, and like seeing the old Olympics brings real pride. And I'm looking at it through the lens of like me seeing the 1984 Olympics and how cool that stuff is, and I just know that in 20 years this is still going to be talked about. So it's we're a magazine, I'm not news, and so I don't think I'll cover it in a very different way than I think I would if I were KTLA 5. But I think I'm really looking to put this chapter in Long Beach's history is kind of the way I'm going to cover it.
I like that
Very
very
cool.
much, and I think that's the beauty of having a multi-voice press and media, because you do have it covered from various ways. And yeah, there is the reporting on a day, who won the day, but you're approaching it with the bigger issue, the impact, and
agreed.
sort of the way it makes us feel as residents of Long Beach and how this affects the city.
Yeah.
So
I like that a lot.
I do want to ask you about something that I think is really cool and impressive that you kind of activated, and that's 908 Day. Tell us a little bit about how that happened, how it came to be, what the inspiration was, and
It's coming up,
yeah.
It's coming up.
the big day.
Grab your shirts. So 908, it took me years and is still taking me years to explain to people what 908 is when the first time they hear it. And we came up with this 908 idea because every zip code starts with 908. And we didn't, uniqueness is so important to me. That's like almost to a flaw. All I care about is being unique. So no one had ever done that. And I wanted to do like 562 had been done in so many capacities. And also like
That bleeds outside of Long Beach
Downey,
anyway. Yeah.
like I don't care about
Yeah,
Downey. I
right.
have nothing against Downey,
Yeah.
but this is a Long Beach publication, 908, and it kind of like speaks to that idea of we're one big city with 908, but then like you said, it's a city of neighborhoods. We have these different zip codes, 90802 and 90807 are very different. But we all share this Long Beach thing. So anyway, that we came up with this 908 as our name of our magazine. And I just started every September 8th. It was just kind of funny, like it's just who I am. Like I'll typically ask people randomly, I'm like, hey, what time it is? Is it? And I know it's 9:00. I'll look at my clock and I'm like, hey, what time is it? And they'll say 9:08. I'll be like, gotcha. Just branding here.
I love
that.
And it's so then I just started celebrating September 8th. I don't know. I saw it on the calendar. I was like, oh, 908 day. We got to do this. So I've been doing it in a very small capacity since I started. Typically just like an email to my clients or a little video here or there saying, hey, it's 908 day, or I give them something. Sometimes I give them a present on 908 day. But like anything, or like my business, it just starts small and everything kind of just snowballs. And we started to make a little bit bigger deal about it in recent years. And then it was actually my editor, Kathleen, who's kind of my second in command. And she said, like, why don't you make this an official day? And I didn't know what that meant. I was just like, that's just not the way I think.
Mhm.
I don't like, no part of me is like, let's get the city government involved. It's probably the opposite. But she convinced me that would be a good idea. And it was just something that we were able to get recognized. And the city council declared it officially a Long Beach Day now. And basically the root of the day is what it's become is just wear a Long Beach shirt on that day at the very least. Like I say, it's kind of cool when, everyone's wearing red, white, and blue on 4th of July or green on St. Patrick's Day.
Mhm.
If everyone wore a Long Beach, it could be anything.
Right.
And it, it doesn't have to say 908. It can. But it doesn't have to be my gear. And then the second part of that is to try to like go out and be out that day, like be in your community. And to make that happen, this is our first official year. So we'll be trying to get a bunch of restaurants and stuff to offer a discount to people wearing Long Beach gear. So like, it's not going to be anything crazy, but if we can get people to slowly over the years start to say like, hey, I'm going to grab my buddies or even better yet, grab your organization. Like, hey, Score, why don't we go out and go to this place? We're all going to wear our gear that says Score Long Beach.
Right.
And they're going to give us 10% off. And it's just, we're all out there doing it, and it's in your neighborhood. And that's the other thing that it's like, it's truly just, I'm not making money off this. It's like, go to your favorite business.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully I can get them to give you 10% off,
Yeah.
but that's not really what it's about. It's about if everyone's out wearing Long Beach stuff and celebrating the city in their own way. And hopefully, like I said, either with their friends or family or in one of their groups. So many people here belong to something.
Yeah.
And it's, whether it's a nonprofit or a school club or, parents of a soccer team. I mean, it's like go out with your group and most of your gear already says Long Beach. And that's why I'm trying to work with the schools too. It's like, if it says like Poly football probably says Long Beach somewhere on there too.
Yeah.
And that works.
It's not like wear my stuff. It's wear your stuff, but it says Long Beach.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Well, everybody's got the memo now.
Mm-hmm.
September 8th, 908
That's
day.
it.
And you got to wear Long Beach and celebrate.
Yeah.
We'll be there for you.
So we're about ready to wrap up. We got Solomon, do you have any questions for John as a creator?
Oh, I was wondering, you don't have any ads on your website. Is that a conscious choice just not to sell advertising on the website?
We have in the past had some. I mentioned earlier we've gone through different iterations of the business. At the moment, we're just trying to sell most of our ads on our print magazine.
Okay.
It's not to say we don't have some other stuff in the works for maybe heading more that way, but it's tough owning a local publishing business, and you got to choose your time wisely. And I don't think our website gets traffic, but
Yeah.
not the kind of traffic where I want to waste my time selling, ads on clicks.
Yeah.
Got it.
Now,
Got to
you're-
prioritize that.
Yeah, you're face forward in the the present, the
Yeah.
physical,
Yeah,
which
there's
is different.
as with anyone, there's all sorts of stuff.
Oh, there's a million websites.
What I want to do, and we're planning or whatever. Maybe we'll do one day, but you also got to kind of prioritize what is the crux of your business, and it's going to the doorsteps, and the ads are right there, and so that's
We're happy to get you a score mentor.
all
Help you
right.
work that out.
Cool. I'd appreciate
For
it.
free, by the way.
Okay.
So we're about ready to wrap up.
3
we'd-
takeaways.
We'd like to conclude with 3 takeaways that you'd like to offer our listeners.
If you see something that says LB908, you just know so much thought and intention went into it. I think that's one. Like I said about, it's not hard to make a magazine, but it's hard to make money with a magazine. But it's also hard to make a magazine you can be proud of, and
Gets read.
that's what. And that's it's deadlines are so crazy because it's art at the end of the day. It's like it could always be better. There was not one magazine that couldn't have been better, but it's so I pour my heart and soul into it. So I hope people take that takeaway is that if you see whether it's the magazine or something else that says LB908, my heart and soul's gone into it.
We saw that, believe me. That's why you're here.
Second takeaway would just be our slogan: "Life is great in the 908." I just think you always gotta look at the good side of things. We highlight positive people, not because I think there's not negative people in Long Beach, but on the contrary, I think positive ones are the ones who deserve to be highlighted. And we really do have such a great town. Like you said, there's something for everyone here, and I think that's one of the things we go back to a lot is the phrase, "You can be anything you want to be in Long Beach." I've used it for kids growing up here. I've also used it for just people finding their place. Like you said, whoever it is you want to be, you can be that person in Long Beach. And it's like across every spectrum you can think of. So life is great in the 908. And then I guess the third takeaway would be what you guys allude to, that life is great in the 908 doesn't mean life is perfect in the 908. We can laugh at some of the things that perhaps need fixing, and maybe we'll laugh at them till they're fixed, or maybe we'll just laugh at them till we laugh harder. I don't know.
That's a great summary. And there's a new little girl in your life?
Yeah, Jane Grossi. So I just a little over a year ago, I just got married, and we didn't waste too much time entering our daughter into the world about a year later. And so Jane is just 1 month old right now. That it's pretty crazy.
Congratulations, man.
I can't. It's crazy that you can't imagine what a parent does till you are. Like, I'm so thankful to my parents.
Yeah.
I've always have been, but like, man,
A new perspective.
a new perspective
Yes.
for sure.
Right.
Absolutely. Well,
Are you getting sleep?
Oh man, not much. No, I'm still kind of in that phase where I tell myself like, well, if I didn't own a business, maybe I'd be in paternity leave, so I can give myself a little bit of lax. But like, I was pretty love to get all my work done early in the morning and had a pretty good schedule going, and man, it's out the window. I'm just like sleeping until 9 sometimes because I'm like, well, I didn't sleep. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out.
And she's a month old?
A month old. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank
We
you
really
for having me.
appreciate you. We
Yeah.
appreciate your magazine, and we appreciate the spark you give to Long Beach.
Yeah,
Thank you.
John. Thank you very much. You can follow John on LB908. That's a handle for Instagram and Facebook. And John, again, thank you so much for being here. Thanks to Solomon and Isaac for producing today's show. We're here at the podcast place, so we'll see you next time. Rosemary,
Thank you, Ken. Is always a pleasure. Thank you, John.
we're out.